May 29, 1453. The final hours of Constantinople. The greatest Christian city in the world is dying. Ottoman cannons have pounded the walls for weeks. Janissaries swarm the breaches. The air is thick with smoke, screams, and blood. On the shattered land walls, among the last desperate defenders, stands a heavily pregnant noblewoman. Gown torn, chainmail thrown over her belly, sword in hand. She rallies the men around her and fights beside Genoese mercenaries and Greek soldiers. She refuses every plea to retreat to safety. Her name was Anna Notaras, daughter of the Empire's last Grand Duke. In the Empire's darkest moment, she chose the walls and the fight for her unborn child's future. This is the extraordinary story of the pregnant noblewoman who defended Constantinople to the end. The last noble family of Byzantium. Anna Notaras was born into the highest aristocracy of a dying empire. Her father, Lucas Notaras, was the Magus Duke Grand Duke, Admiral, and one of the richest men in Constantinople. The Notaras family traced their lineage back to ancient Roman senators. They owned palaces, estates, and vast wealth, even as the empire shrank to just the city walls and a few outposts. By 1453, Anna was likely in her mid-20s. She was married and heavily pregnant with her first child. The family was deeply involved in the empire's final politics. Lucas served Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos loyally, but he strongly opposed union with the Catholic Church. He famously declared he would rather see the Turkish turban in the city than the Latin mitre. As Mehmed II's massive army of 80,000 men, armed with revolutionary cannons, encircled Constantinople in April 1453, only 7,000 defenders remained to hold the walls. Civilians, monks, and even women joined the desperate fight. Anna refused to stay safe in the palace or flee on Italian ships. She chose the walls. The siege begins. The siege lasted 53 days of relentless assault. Mehmed's massive super cannon, cast by the Hungarian engineer Urban, fired 1,200-pound stones that shattered the ancient walls. Emperor Constantine XI and the Genoese commander Giovanni Giustiani repaired the breaches every night. Lucas Notaras commanded the harbor defense, keeping the Great Chain across the Golden Horn intact. Despite her advanced pregnancy, Anna joined the defense on the land walls. She carried supplies, encouraged exhausted soldiers, and when breaches opened, she fought with sword in hand. Later Greek and Venetian sources specifically named Anna as one of the noblewomen who fought alongside the men. Her presence inspired the defenders, a pregnant aristocrat who refused to surrender. She helped bridge divided factions. Greeks who distrusted the Latin mercenaries still fought side by side with them. As the weeks dragged on, hope began to fade. Mehmed offered terms, but Constantine refused. Anna stayed on the walls. The final assault. On May 29th at dawn, Mehmed launched the final all-out assault. Waves of irregular Bashi bazooks attacked first, followed by Anatolian troops, and finally, the elite Janissaries. Giovanni Giustiani was badly wounded, and his retreat triggered panic. The walls were breached at several points. Emperor Constantine XI charged into the melee, threw off his imperial insignia, and died fighting as a common soldier. Anna fought in the chaos, sword swinging, protecting the men around her. When the final resistance collapsed, she was captured along with the surviving nobles. For 3 days, the Ottoman army sacked Constantinople with massacre, looting, and enslavement. Hagia Sophia was stormed, and worshippers were slaughtered at the altar. Lucas Notaras was initially spared, but later executed along with his sons when he refused to hand over his youngest for Mehmed's harem. Anna and her mother were taken captive. Even while pregnant, Anna endured the horrors of the sack. captivity, and ransom. In Ottoman captivity, Anna gave birth. Her child survived. Months later, she was ransomed, likely by Venetian relatives or Florentine merchants who paid a heavy price for high-ranking Byzantine nobles. She reached Venice, the heart of the Greek exile community. There, Anna rebuilt her life. Wealth from family estates outside the fallen city allowed her some comfort. She supported scholars, preserved ancient manuscripts, and funded churches. She worked with Cardinal Bessarion and other exiles to plan future crusades against the Turks. She hosted Byzantine intellectuals who had fled the fall. She remarried and raised her child in the traditions of the Lost Empire. Anna lived more than 50 years in exile and died around 1507. Legacy of the Last Defender. Anna Notaras became a living symbol of Byzantine resistance, a heavily pregnant noblewoman who chose to fight in the walls when the empire was dying. Her stand inspired later generations. She carried the flame of Roman identity into the Renaissance. Without exiles like Anna, much of Greek learning and culture might have been lost forever. Her child, born amid the fall, represented hope and continuity. From defender on the walls to matriarch in Venice, Anna refused to let Constantinople's memory die. In a city that fell in blood and fire, she survived to remember, to rebuild, and to defy. The pregnant noblewoman who chose the sword over surrender and kept the empire alive in exile. Would you have fought on the walls while pregnant, knowing the end was near? Next video, Boudicca's revenge, when one widow almost ended Roman Britain.